A very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News. I'm Tracy Shilshi, and in the next 30 minutes I'll be getting you the news you probably missed through the night and also the day's top stories. Let's start with the headlines. Severe cyclonic storm Varda is expected to make landfall by afternoon. High alert has been sounded. NDRF teams on standby in North Tamil Nadu and South Andhra Pradesh. Sixth meeting of the GST Council inconclusive. Issues of dual control not taken up. Next meet scheduled on the 22nd and 23rd of December. Kerala and Tamil Nadu say the April 1st deadline is unlikely, but the centre stands by it. Home Minister Rajnath Singh's stern message to Pakistan says it will break into 10 nations if it failed to end terror. Blames Islamabad for trying to divide India on religious lines. And US President-elect Donald Trump hints at ending the One China policy, says Beijing must make concessions on trade, without which he does not see relevance of the policy. Starting with what will be our top focus through the day, high alert has been sounded and National Disaster Response Force or the NDRF teams have been pre-positioned in North Tamil Nadu and South Andhra Pradesh as severe cyclonic storm Varda is expected to make landfall by afternoon today. Under its impact, very heavy rainfall ranging up to 20 centimeters is expected to hit the northern district of Chennai, Tiruvallur and Kanchipuram. Wind speed is likely to go up to 100 kilometers per hour and sea waves are expected to rise to at least a meter. The state government has asked residents of Chennai and its two neighbouring districts, Kanchipuram and Tiruvallur, to stock up food and stay indoors until further advisory. Fishermen have been advised to not venture into sea for the next 48 hours, while a public holiday has been declared in 3 districts as a precautionary measure. Meanwhile, in Andhra Pradesh, Prakasam and Nellore districts on the Bay of Bengal coast are likely to be hit heavily because of the cyclone. Chittoor and Kadapa districts of Rayalaseema are also expected to receive heavy rainfall. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu reviewed the situation through a teleconference with collectors and top officials. And the state government is also taking help of the ISRO to track the progression of the cyclone.
We are expecting rainfall in these 4 districts, Prakasam, Nellore, Chittoor and Kadapa, and also parts of Anantapur district. We have made all necessary arrangements. The control room has been opened in the command control center at Vijayawada. All district collectorates have already opened their control rooms and they are monitoring the situation.
We'll keep an eye out on the developments there. Meanwhile, in other news, Union Minister Rajnath Singh on Saturday launched a scathing attack on Pakistan, accusing it of trying to create religious divide in the country. He warned Pakistan that it would be splintered into 10 nations if it failed to end terrorism. Lashing out at Pakistan at a rally in Jammu and Kashmir's Kathua, Rajnath Singh said that Pakistan wants to break off Jammu and Kashmir from India through terrorism. Accusing Pakistan of waging a proxy war against India, the Home Minister said that India always wanted to have friendly relations with all its neighbours, but its peace efforts were always met by betrayal and terrorist attacks from Pakistan. He went on to offer help to Islamabad in combating terrorism if it could not control it on its own.
पाकिस्तान को इस हकीकत को समझना चाहिए, आतंकवाद ये बहादुर लोगों का हथियार नहीं हुआ करता है, आतंकवाद ये कायरों का हथियार होता है। मुगालते में है यह पाकिस्तान कि हम मजहब के आधार पर फिर से भारत को बांट देंगे। और मैं समझता हूं पाकिस्तान अपनी हरकतों से बाज नहीं आया तो अभी तो पाकिस्तान के 2 टुकड़े हुए हैं, शायद उस पाकिस्तान के 10 टुकड़े हो जाएं और पाकिस्तान के खंड-खंड हो जाएं।
Meanwhile, in Pakistan, the new Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa on Sunday abruptly removed the chief of the country's spy agency ISI. He also made several other significant changes in the Army's top brass as part of a major reshuffle. General Bajwa, who took over from General Rahil Sharif 2 weeks ago, appointed Lieutenant General Naveed Mukhtar as the Director General of the Inter-Services Intelligence, replacing Lieutenant General Rizwan Akhtar. Lieutenant General Mukhtar possesses vast experience in the field of intelligence and has headed the counter-terrorism wing of the spy agency in Islamabad. He was commissioned in the Armoured Corps Regiment in 1983. The appointments are seen as a move by the new Army Chief General Bajwa to put in place a new team after he took charge on the 29th of November as the 16th Chief of the Army Staff of Pakistan. Back home, President Pranab Mukherjee marked his 81st birthday on Sunday with several events. The president launched the 100 Million for 100 Million campaign organized by Nobel laureate Kailash Satyarthi's Satyarthi Children's Foundation, in which about 5,000 children participated. The campaign aims to mobilize 100 million youth and children for the upliftment of underprivileged children across the world. The president urged all children and young people from India and abroad to join this campaign for a vibrant, compassionate and happy world where every child is free from fear and exploitation. The president also released a book named Rashtrapati Bhavan From Raj to Swaraj. Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari and Prime Minister Modi were among other dignitaries present at the event. Speaking on the occasion, the Prime Minister conveyed his best birthday wishes to President Pranab Mukherjee, and he recalled President Mukherjee's guidance in the initial days of his prime ministership and hoped that the nation would continue to benefit from the president's experience for a long time.
I have been overwhelmed by their good wishes, blessings, and expression of their love and affection to me. I have noticed, and I consider myself to be fortunate enough, perhaps it is the blessings of God, that I have received so much from my friends, from the people. I do not know what I have done.
Indradhanush, in a sense, is an innovation. In another sense, it is an upgradation of what has been happening in Rashtrapati Bhavan over decades. But the difference is that the cultural events were usually part of a state occasion, often visits of visiting dignitaries. But this program, Indradhanush, has given it a different perspective altogether.
ईश्वर से यही प्रार्थना करेंगे कि लंबे कालखंड तक आपका मार्गदर्शन मिलता रहे, आपके अनुभव का लाभ देश और दुनिया को मिलता रहे। आज यहां 3 ग्रंथों का लोकार्पण हो रहा है। राष्ट्रपति भवन में ये एक ऐसी गतिविधि जो लंबे अरसे तक आने वाली पीढ़ियों को भी काम आने वाली है।
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Modi also criticized the opposition for stalling Parliament on the issue of demonetization. He said that the opposition does not want the discussion on the matter in the House because they do not want the truth to be revealed. The Prime Minister said this while addressing a rally in Bahrain in Uttar Pradesh through a mobile phone. Poor visibility prevented the Prime Minister's helicopter from landing in Bahrain, where he had to address the Parivantar rally on Sunday. He addressed the crowd sitting in the helicopter. The Prime Minister assured the mammoth gathering that the country will win the war against black money. He also said that dishonest will not be spared at any cost. The Prime Minister's appeal on demonetization came amid opposition criticism over its implementation that has been the cause of distress for people. Now, the 6th meeting of the GST Council remained inconclusive after the centre and the states failed to sort out the contentious issue of dual control of assessors. In fact, the meeting was slated for 2 days, but it was curtailed to half after the issue could not be discussed since time was lost in the going clause by clause of the voluminous draft legislations. Even in the previous GST Council meetings, the central and state governments could not agree on a model for dual control, which aims to divide the administrative, auditing and assessing powers under the proposed GST regime. While Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said that the centre stands by its April 1st deadline, states like Kerala and Tamil Nadu said that meeting the deadline was not possible and GST could not be rolled out from September next year. Monday's meeting of the GST Council has been called off due to a public holiday. The GST panel shall now meet again on the 22nd and the 23rd of December.
We started today discussing it, and we have gone up to clause 99. There are few clauses which require, one or two clauses which require to be redrafted, which will be in the meanwhile redrafted, and in the next meeting, the 7th meeting, they will be put up before the council again. The next meeting will be on the 22nd and the 23rd of December.
Indonesian President Joko Widodo has arrived in Delhi on his first visit to India. During the two-day visit, Widodo will hold a meeting with Prime Minister Modi today. He'll also call on the President and the Vice President. Defence, security and anti-terrorism cooperation, besides economic partnership, are likely to be the major focus of his meetings. In an interview to news agency PTI ahead of his visit, he said that anti-terror cooperation is something that they are currently discussing and that no country is immune from a terror attack. Ahead of his visit, the Indonesian president also said that the country is willing to consider a bilateral trade pact with India. Indonesia has become the second largest trading partner of India in the ASEAN region. Bilateral trade has increased from $6.9 billion in 2007-08 to $19.3 billion in 2014-15. In 2015-16, the bilateral trade fell to $9 billion due to global economic situation, fall in commodity prices and less overall imports by Indonesia. President Widodo is accompanied by cabinet ministers, senior officials and a 22-member high-level business delegation from Indonesia. In other news now, accusing the CBI of acting as the government's puppet by planting false news related to the VVIP chopper scam, Congress party said that Prime Minister Modi should answer questions in Parliament instead of trying to cover up the demonetization mess by holding CBI captive. Congress told the CBI to own up to the malicious news plants and asked the media to not fall prey to such tactics. This after reports that former IAF chief SP Tyagi, who was arrested in the VVIP chopper scam last week, blamed the office of the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. Former Air Force Chief SP Tyagi was arrested in connection with the alleged irregularities in the VVIP chopper deal.
We would request friends of the media to not become unintended victims of the malicious propaganda of a puppet CBI. If CBI's unappointed chief and company have courage of conviction, then they should come forward and own up the lies and malicious allegations that they are seeking to plant into news channels as also amongst the friends of the media on Augusta case. However hard CBI may try, they will never be able to divert the demonetization mess agenda by trying to set up a new agenda.
All right, without a quick break here, we'll be back with more news in a bit. Stay with us.
St. Thomas Basilica. One of the world's 3 churches that is built over the Tomb of Apostles. St. Thomas was one of the 12 apostles of Jesus Christ who brought Christianity to India. With an underground tomb where the remains of St. Thomas are laid, this magnificent basilica is of Gothic architecture. The stained glass of the church depicts some divine moments of St. Thomas's life. In 2006, this church was conferred with the status of national shrine.
Hello and welcome. I'm Amritanshu Rai and you're watching Law of the Land on Rajya Sabha TV. And in that situation, it may not be treated as a tax compliant demerger.
This is one direct benefit which a company gets for employing more people.
Basically what they are trying to do is that they are trying to give greater flexibility to the owners or the shareholders.
Watch Law of the Land on Rajya Sabha television.
Hemkund Sahib, sacred shrine of the Sikhs, widely acclaimed for being the highest in the world, located in the Himalayas at an altitude of 15,200 feet. The Gurudwara is designed with an image of an upside-down lotus flower.
Welcome back. In more national news and in some controversy relating the Augusta Westland case, ousted Tata Group chairman Cyrus Mistry on Sunday created a stir in his battle with the Tatas when he linked one of its directors, Vijay Singh, to the VVIP chopper scam, a charge vehemently denied by Singh. Vijay Singh is an independent director on the Tata Sons board. Mistry alleged that Singh had a role in the Augusta Westland chopper scam as it happened when he was the defense secretary in 2010. However, Singh rejected the charge, saying that the deal was approved by the Union Cabinet after he had retired from government service, and to drag him in this matter is slanderous and malicious. Meanwhile, Tata Sons on Sunday once again renewed its appeal to shareholders of Tata Group companies to remove Cyrus Mistry from their boards, saying that his presence as chairman is likely to lead to fragmentation of the Tata Group. The appeal by Tata Sons comes ahead of the key meetings of six group companies to vote on removing Mistry from their boards. In a 4-page letter, the company said that Mistry has, over the past 3 to 4 years, concentrated power and authority as chairman in all major Tata operating companies and tried to weaken the management structures in the companies, acting contrary to his fiduciary duties. Mistry, however, has rejected all the allegations against him. Teaming up with the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, or OPEC, 11 non-OPEC countries also agreed to cut their oil output in order to reduce global supply that has kept oil prices low. In fact, Russia and other 10 non-OPEC countries have agreed to reduce their production by more than 500,000 barrels per day from January for the next 6 months. Kazakhstan, Mexico, Oman and Azerbaijan are some of the other countries that have agreed to reduce oil production. Last month, all 14 OPEC member countries agreed to cut oil output from 33.7 million barrels per day to 32.5 million barrels a day, starting January next year for the next 6 months. OPEC, which produces 1/3 of the world's oil, reached the historic agreement for the first time since 2008 to reduce oil surplus.
Our agreement is really stemmed from the sense of responsibility towards the balancing of the market, which will lead to positive results not only for producers and exporters, but also to consumers and to the healthy economy we all require to the world. Non-OPEC countries participating today, they committed to approximately 560, to be exact, 558,000 barrels.
In more international news, US President-elect Donald Trump has questioned the relevance of continuing the One China policy if Beijing refuses to make any concessions on trade. Trump made it clear that the communist nation cannot dictate him. The US, since 1979, has respected China's stance on Taiwan, which it sees as a breakaway province. In an interview to Fox News, Trump said without concessions from China, he did not see why it should continue. He went on to say that the US is being hurt very badly by China with devaluation, with heavy taxing at the borders, with its stand on the South China Sea issue and North Korea. Trump also defended receiving a congratulatory phone call from the president of Taiwan, saying that some other nation cannot dictate which calls he must take and which he cannot. Now to Italy, where Paolo Gentiloni has been named as the new Prime Minister following reformist leader Matteo Renzi's resignation in the wake of a crushing referendum defeat. Italian President Sergio Mattarella asked the Foreign Minister Paolo Gentiloni on Sunday to serve as the new Prime Minister and guide Italy to the elections due in February 2018. Gentiloni now has to in fact put together his own government team ahead of a parliamentary approval vote expected on Wednesday. The newly appointed Prime Minister said that he was aware of the need for urgency to give Italy a full functioning government and guide Italy through the country's troubled banking sector and ongoing relief efforts after a series of deadly earthquakes between August and October this year. Rejecting opposition demands for an immediate election, the president turned to Gentiloni after opposition parties rebuffed overtures about a possible national unity government. Matteo Renzi, who has been in power for more than 2 years, resigned last week after voters overwhelmingly rejected a package of constitutional reforms on which he had staked his future.
Dunque non per scelta, ma per senso di responsabilità, ci muoveremo nel quadro del governo e della maggioranza uscenti. Sono infine consapevole dell'urgenza di dare all'Italia un governo nella pienezza dei poteri, per rassicurare i nostri concittadini e per affrontare con il massimo impegno e la massima determinazione le priorità internazionali, economiche, sociali, a cominciare dalla ricostruzione delle zone colpite dal terremoto.
At least 160 people have been killed after a church roof collapsed onto worshippers in Uyo in southern Nigeria. A hospital director where the bodies have been shifted says the mortuaries are overflowing and the final death toll is likely to be much higher. Reports say many victims are in private mortuaries all over the city of Uyo. The congregants said that Rainer's Bible Church was still under construction when it was crowded with worshippers to ordain a bishop. Metal girders crashed and corrugated iron roof caved in. The state government said that it will investigate to see if building standards were compromised. And now let's head on to some sports news. And in cricket, England will resume their second innings play today as they face their 7th test defeat of the year after Virat Kohli's double century ensured India dominated day 4 on the 4th test in Mumbai. England were 182 for 6 in their second innings, trailing India by 49 runs at stumps on day 4. Replying to England's first innings score of 400, India made 631. Earlier, after resuming play at the overnight score of 451 for 7, Kohli and Jayant Yadav continued to frustrate the England bowlers and India were 579 for 7 at lunch. While Kohli was out for 235, Yadav scored 104. Both shared 241 runs for the 8th wicket. Virat Kohli also became the first Indian captain to score 3 double centuries in tests. Kohli scored his 3rd double century all in this year as the Indian team consolidated their position. India only need to draw this 4th game to win the 5th game series and stay at the apex of the ICC test rankings. They are currently leading the series 2-0.
You have to take into account the context of the game because they were attacking me more and they had very defensive fields against Virat. So that gave me an opportunity to, I wouldn't say cash in, but to put away the bad balls, and that's what I did.
And try and fight our way back into this game if we can. We're 50 runs behind. If we can bat with the positive intent that we showed today, there's no reason we can't get 100 ahead of them and try and put some pressure on them with the ball.
Well, India will play South Africa in their last Pool D match of the Men's Junior Hockey World Cup in Lucknow today. With 2 wins over Canada and England, India have virtually secured their place in the quarterfinals. The team would need only a draw to guarantee their entry. India are presently leading Pool D with a maximum 6 points from 2 games. On Sunday, Spain produced a spirited performance to eke out a fighting 3-all draw against Oceania runners-up New Zealand in their last Pool C match to book a quarterfinal berth. Spain are now likely to face favourites India in the quarterfinals. All the best to both the teams. That's it on Breakfast News. Thanks for joining us and have a great day ahead.